My monster's dead.
So, who was Kevin Smith? Our reporter Dwayne Anderson has that angle.
Kevin Smith came to public attention over a week ago when cult killings took place at the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries that he led in Montego Bay, St. James. But for his followers, he was known for close to 10 years. During that time, his bizarre teachings and methods were shared with his flock.
If you come from a family of witchcraft, you can identify it. You pee-bed late into life. I want to talk to you tonight. Can I continue teaching? You urinate the bed late. That's when you know there's witchcraft in your family.
He also had a taste for the flamboyant. On his birthday on April 10, 2018, he traveled in one of 2 stretch limousines escorted by police officers on motorcycles through Montego Bay. The occasion was complemented by a marching band. Smith was also an anti-vaxxer. He was of the view that the world was in trouble, especially due to the COVID-19 vaccine. He argued that the drug represented the mark of the beast and unvaccinated people were purebloods. In the days leading up to the killings at the church, he encouraged members to withdraw their monies from banks which had implemented vaccine mandates. And here he was on another occasion charging members of the congregation a fee for attending church late.
Those of you who are late this morning, can I have the late book? I know all who was here from this morning. Put it in this. How many of you were late? $200 can pay for the whole of your Jingman family.
But his story goes deeper than what he said and did at the pulpit. A relative told TVJ News Smith was born in St. Catherine. Our checks further indicated that Smith had been preaching in Jamaica for close to 10 years after he returned from Canada, a well-educated man. He held a doctorate degree in divinity and a doctor of ministry degree. He was also a registered clinical counselor and a psychotherapist. Smith, in one of his sermons, explained why he left Canada and returned to Jamaica. We understand that Smith, his brother, and 2 sisters migrated to Canada after their mother filed for the 4 of them. He was the eldest of the children. Canada was the promise of better life for Smith, his siblings, and mother. Smith's father served in the Jamaica Defense Force JDF and afterwards worked at the Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC. His father died last year. A relative explained that Smith's father did not play an active role in his upbringing, and at one stage left Smith as a little boy alone with his mother, and this contributed to a tough life for him as a child. Consequently, Smith survived mostly off grown provisions and other foods that relatives cultivated in the rural community of Cassava River in Glengulf, St. Catherine. The relative said he helped raise Smith, but they grew apart over the years. He said he is concerned about the circumstances surrounding his death on Monday.
Now deceased pastor was deported from Canada. Kevin Smith migrated to Canada in 1993, but in 2007, he was convicted on a sexual assault charge. The revelation was made by the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, Paula Llewellyn, who was speaking with Jamaica Gleaner journalist Jovan Johnson.
The police have indicated to me that they have confirmed that Mr. Kevin Smith, or Pastor Kevin Smith, had been convicted on the 5th of November 2007 of 1 count of sexual assault of a male victim, and that he served 6 months in prison, and there was also a 2 years discretionary probationary period, as well as probation orders made for some 10 years.
However, the DPP would not go into details about the nature of the case against Mr. Smith.
Because Mr. Smith is now deceased, I would prefer to just leave it at one. One count of sexual assault in respect of a male victim, a 21-year-old male victim, and perhaps you could speak to the police at the highest level for them to fill in on the details if they believe it's appropriate so to do.
This story I'm about to tell happened nearly 20 years ago. I lived in his house, but he lived in me. When I got out, I deleted everything and blocked him. I didn't want proof that we ever met because of the shame and the fear. Each time he tried to get in touch pulled me right back to the old Francis. Young and vulnerable Francis. Gullible Francis. How could you be so stupid, Francis? The clinic I went to when I started bleeding doesn't exist anymore. It's like a part of my past has been erased. I was okay with that for a long time. But now I need to set me free. I lived at home in the suburbs, but I felt more like myself in the city. I was studying at School of Design. I was determined to prove myself, be the best, that I was worthy of great things. For 4 years, I'd commute an hour and a half to school. Then I flipped burgers at what used to be called Pier 4 at the Toronto Harbour. I worked past midnight, reeked of grease, skewered hundreds of scallops, endured abusive chefs, served rowdy tourists almost every day for an entire summer. I loved the grind. My final year at school, I made it to the short list, the year-end show, where we got to showcase our final thesis in a gallery. My thesis was Model Citizen. I even cast my mom as a model. She was all in, and I love her for it.
This is how it's done. This is how it's done.
You gotta do it. So you're the art director, the hairstylist. What else, Francis?
Wardrobe stylist. What?
What?
Now what?
Now what?
I remember when the police came and said that they wanted to work on a campaign, I thought, I remember Francis's campaigns for the dialogue. He would be great to work on this campaign. So you were one of the students I enlisted to work on that special project. RHVP, Report Homophobic Violence, because it was like RSVP, but it was RHVP. And I thought, oh, here's a person who knows how to develop a campaign, and he knows how to do the art direction of the photography. So that's where I got to know you.
We thought we would do a special photo shoot that involves the Powerhouse collective. It's a collective of young artists that's led by one of the graduates of George Brown College named Francis Luta. And I thought it would be an amazing opportunity for him to art direct a photo shoot. It's inspired by the kind of photography that Renova has included in their ad campaigns. So what we thought we would do is get this unique group of young artists that form part of the Powerhouse collective and wrap them in toilet paper and art direct them in a way where you'd see their bodies, the toilet paper, and the kind of sensual idea that's behind the Renova brand. What we're going to be doing with these shots is we're going to be framing them and then hanging them in strategic locations in the pavilion.
My name is Francis Luta. I am creative director of Powerhouse. Today we are doing the photo shoot for Renova, and the whole concept is liberation, freedom, and it's sexual. It's a sexy shoot.
How do you feel about our coffee table book, all the photos?
Classy, yeah. It's, ooh, wow. I like this guy the best. I like green mint. I like green mint. Oh my God, it's perfect. For me, seeing this stuff is like innovation. It's great. I think it's a great outside the box idea.
Everyone seemed to love the pavilion. They loved the tree, they loved the book. To our surprise, they gave us the Silver Award as one of the most innovative designs of this year's show.
For someone who had done those sort of out there campaigns, I think you were much more innocent than I think your work demonstrated. Like those photographic campaigns made you seem very worldly. Talk about like synchronicity or whatever. The fact that I would have thought, oh, Francis, the guy who's done the cool things, he would probably understand this. Little did I know, you really understood it, right? Even though you're not conscious that you understood it at that time.
If you or somebody you know is experiencing verbal or physical harassment as a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender individual, then report homophobic violence, period.
Every crime motivated by hate is a crime against all of us. Let's put an end to hate crime. Report homophobic violence, period.
It's as easy as RHVP, so let's keep talking, guys.
You know, as someone who's experienced something like this himself, you don't always think to go to a counselor right away, right? And you certainly don't think to go to the police either. You're afraid. I think we both saw and understood the world differently because of what had happened to us, which made us, when we saw each other and became friends, know how we feel. Even though we never discussed that over the years, we've kept in touch some way or another, right? And maybe part of it is that, and maybe that's why you reached out to me, because maybe you thought I would understand.
In my spare time, I was online a lot. The days of chat rooms, before smartphones, before everything at your fingertips. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I was determined to meet someone. I don't remember who hit up who first, but one chat lured me in. It went beyond ASL, ? He was different, typed in full sentences, asked interesting questions. I was intrigued.
I feel like I know you, but
We started talking on the phone.
I haven't even met you.
He said he was 23, but he sounded much older. Voice full of wisdom.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, we'll see you Saturday.
Like you'd pretty much believe anything he told you.
Okay. No, you say bye. No, you say bye first. No.
We decided to meet at Finch subway station, a public neutral place to meet a complete stranger. That was smart. I knew it was him from a distance. So regal. I was nervous. He seemed powerful, yet soft-spoken, enunciating every word with purpose. He looked at me with such distinction, like he really looked at me. I was captivated. He told me he didn't normally do this kind of thing, meeting guys like this, like I was in on his secret.
So, welcome to my home.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it surely is.
Do you live here by yourself?
Yes, I do actually. Just me.
Oh, perfect.
My mom never stopped me from doing anything in life. She supported me even when we couldn't afford my high school Europe trip. She found a way and gave me that life-changing experience. And I hope one day I can repay her. I was a star art student in high school, but I decided I wouldn't finish my last year of OAC and instead go on a 7-month-long volunteer program across Canada. My mom taught me to own that decision. She encouraged my one-way ticket to Berlin, Germany, where I fulfilled that artist lifestyle. My mom mom is always there to reflect with me. But with Prof, I knew my mom wasn't truly convinced.
Remember when I met him, he says he would take care of you and he will change you. Who are you that you can say that? Maybe at that time, there's a doubt already in my mind, but I don't want to express it. Remember, I always tell you, whatever you send out to the universe, that it happens. He appeared to be pleasant and convincing. Had you been foolish enough to go wherever, you also realized, right? It's not a good feeling that I had when I went there. And I saw you. Something is wrong because the face that I see on you was like you had that fire in you, but you're not happy. You were subdued. Maybe my prayers were make him see. Make him see. It's not a good feeling when I went there. If I did stop you, if I say no, it would still happen. It's either you can be a victim and keep it to yourself, but sharing it now, you're a victor. I wish I could have protected you.
Prof lectured me like a father. He roughed house with me like a brother. Confided in me like a friend.
Children? Yeah. Okay.
And he touched me like a lover. Prof told me these were just urges, that I needed to be saved, that I am not gay. Yet, he would still touch me. He made me feel secure. I invited Prof to come over one night for dinner to meet my mom. They both loved church, so at least they had that in common. Then one day, Prof admitted to me that the meal my mom made wasn't good at all, that it was burnt. He went on about it, mocking her. I was hurt for her, but I didn't defend her. There were fleeting moments of softness.
You know you've done something to me. You know that.
What do you mean?
How do you know to kiss like that?
Well, I've had a lot of practice.
I don't like the sound of that. You being used up like that? Mm-mm.
But I'm here now.
I'm here now, Prof.
I'm here now, Prof.
I want to take you with me, show you the world, be at my side. Always.
I'd really like that.
Good.
Prof taught me about his skin routine. He'd wrap his forehead with saran wrap every night to suppress any breakouts. It was strange. I didn't try it, but I just listened. Prof loved his sugar. He'd eat a bowl of Fruit Loops every morning. He'd tell me, in his culture, when you have rolls on your neck, when it's thick, it signifies you're well fed, you're well off. After a while of living in his house, I didn't eat much solids because going to the toilet was painful. Even liquids felt like a constant stream of paper cuts. I knew something was wrong.
Your phone started to ring. I don't remember if he called you a couple times, but you had to take it, and then you talked to him. I can't remember how long, but enough to have to explain yourself because you were like, sorry, like, I had to take this call. And then you were like, he wants to talk to you also. And it was just like, what? It was interesting for me too. It was almost becoming a story for me too. So it was like, let me get the scoop type of thing. He was, at that point, you didn't tell me exactly, I think, who he was. The way he was talking was already creepy because it was just one tone, just asking me very direct questions. And then though, it started to feel like a jealous boyfriend type of questions, you know? My intentions? What do you... We're playing guitar, that's my intention. And because if he's asking me these kind of questions, I'm sure he asks you even way more personal questions. So I don't think you were scared, but you looked embarrassed. You didn't want to tell me exactly everything. I thought like, oh, okay, Francis is a lover, and he's older guy that wants a younger guy, probably. That's what I thought. Because those kind of questions were very like almost like parents would ask, right?
Prof gave me a curfew. I was uncomfortable with this rule, but as long as I chose to live in his house, well, I had to obey.
How long do you have to pay off your student loan?
Prof would look over my shoulder and breathe down my neck and study my spending habits through my online banking, line by line. I had to explain every single spend like a scolded child.
And you're spending $40 on underwear. Okay. What's this for?
That one is just a nice jacket.
He realized I wasn't worth much.
What do you buy that for?
I mean, it was on sale. It was only like $180.
$180.
Yeah.
You just said you had student loans.
This is Canada. It gets cold.
$180.
He'd summon me up to his bedroom. It was a ritual. Up and down those stairs. It was my religion. In my darkest days, he'd tell me, it's not what you think, it's what you know.
Well, what if, you did say something to the authorities, whoever authorities are, when you were 21? What would be the downstream? What would have changed? There's nothing you can do. But however, by telling the story, I would hope that you would give confidence and conviction to other young men or women who are vulnerable and taken advantage of, abused sexually. Other people need to know the story, so if they are ever in a similar circumstance, they can put a warning bell to stop, a yellow or red light or caution or something, it might help them to cut those ties quicker than instead of hanging around, instead of being in a closet, they'll come out and just pack their bags, leave. They'll be more cognizant. They'll have a greater capacity to make that decision because you've shared your story. There's a time to maintain confidentiality, and there's a time to express, wait a minute, this is wrong. This is something, someone else needs to know that this is wrong. It's a long time ago for you, but it's the future for someone else, unfortunately. I'm saddened by the story. I'm empathetic with what you went through, that you didn't have a father figure. I wanted to say, oh, I don't have a son figure. Yeah, no, I'm grateful that you're talking to me about it.
I'd sit across from him, like therapy. He had a notepad and wrote everything down. Therapy became interrogation. He'd summon each evil inside of me to identify themselves, but I was just making up random names as I went along, to appease him, to get it over with. He ordered me to confess all my darkest secrets. He forced me to think of all the ways I could harm myself.
Drowning.
So I came up with basic suicide, and some were more creative.
Setting them on fire. Oh, how else?
He'd write it all down. And when I thought we were finished,
on a cross.
in what felt like hours in a deep, dark cave,
slicing his throat.
We kept going until I was a shell of myself. He started speaking in tongues, like he was exorcising me. I felt nothing. Like I was a demon he couldn't contend with. The bedroom across from mine was occupied by a tenant whom I never saw. She was a paramedic who was never home. I don't think she ever had a clue what went on between her landlord and some random guy who moved in without paying rent. One day I saw these guys walking down the stairs from his bedroom. I asked Prof about it, which he didn't like. Put me right back in my place. He said he was counseling them. End of story. Was I being replaced? One night, Prof told me about someone he knew was being accused of child molestation. He didn't tell me who, but all I could think about was, thank God, news this awful would deter Prof from forcing himself on me again tonight. But it didn't. Upon his request, I walked up those stairs, I laid on that bed, and took my mind somewhere else. Somewhere safe.
I need you to relax. Relax.
Prof was determined to get inside my body. as if it was the last remaining piece to break down. But my body rejected every bit of force. I dreaded walking up those stairs every night, like I was walking straight into the mouth of the beast. It took a doctor to tell me I had to get out of the situation I was in. I had a tear from all those times Prof would force himself on me every night for an entire season. And as I bled, he'd tell me to clean every drop of blood stain so the paramedic tenant doesn't see that I'm menstruating like a woman.
Hey. Dude. I need to move out. You know that guy that I asked to talk to on the phone the other night? Yeah, I know it's weird. You don't have to tell me. Just trust me, okay? It's only getting weirder, and I don't know why I moved in with him in the first place. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Look, I don't have a lot of stuff, so maybe we can fit it all in your brother's car? Maybe next weekend. Yeah. No, please, don't ask me to explain anymore.
Why are you whispering? Who are you talking to?
My friend.
What are you talking about?
It's kind of private, Prof.
I know everything there is to know about you. Who are you talking to? Francis?
My friend John. Remember him? You had a lovely phone conversation with him the other night.
You wretch.
One night he wasn't home. I was alone for the first time in his house. I thought to myself I could just go. Leave everything behind and just go.
What are you doing? Where are you gonna go?
I don't know, away from you.
Watch your tone.
Well, how about you stop telling me what to do?
You're making a scene,
I don't care.
You will be lost without me.
Then so be it. Go home.
It was like this invisible force that lured me back inside. Just the cold night and his voice. I found a way out, eventually. It wasn't the great escape, like he was ready to let go of a failed project and let me pick up my own pieces. I tried to tell my story before, through my work, which reflected that experience subconsciously, like a disease. It's always a man wielding power over someone vulnerable, someone weak. That couldn't have been me. That was a different person. I'm a different person. It's not what I think. It's what I know. And what I know is you're dead.